Yeah, I shall do that as well. Pop. Hello. Alrighty. Hello, YouTubers. Is Skinny Zach here, and this is episode 3 of Skinny Zach Interviews. And tonight, my guest is the popular comedic brick filmer, most known for his Batman series, AubreyStudios82. Say hi.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. Wow, man. Okay. So you guys can ask questions eventually, but first I'm gonna ask him mine. Okay.
Right.
Alrighty. We might not pay as much attention to the chat until the actual interview is complete. So don't worry. We know you guys are here. Alrighty. Let's start off, Jonathan.
All right.
What got you into brick filming? That's the most basic of questions.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I've always been interested in Lego kind of my whole life. And as I got older, I started to be, I started noticing different brick filmers on YouTube. I was inspired by people like, Blob Studios and Forrest, obviously, Keshin. Yeah. And I kind of wanted to do that myself because what I really liked about all of it was that I'd be able to like convey a story. I could show something happening in the, I've always liked film and the media, and I want to be in the entertainment industry when I grow up. And so the easiest way for me to kind of make my own content along those lines at the time was to just use my Legos, to convey stories and stuff without having to find actual actors. Yeah, so it's not really the Lego aspect that I enjoy most. It's just being able to tell a story is my favorite part.
Oh yeah, that's exactly why I got into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool. Like, man, that's exactly why I got into Legos, because no one wants to see me dressed as Batman.
Like I just did it for like the simplicity,
Yeah. But, I mean, I fell in love with it as a art form, as a form of filmmaking in itself eventually. But yeah, I'm like you. I started out like it's just it's more convenience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's why dress up like Nightwing when you can just use like little toys to do it instead?
Yeah, exactly. It's easier. Although it's not easier in regards to the cost. It's Legos is actually very expensive.
Oh, you got some of like the 2006 Batman. Those things are expensive. I mean, how did you get your hands on those?
Well, most of them I've had them since 2006. I've been to Lego for quite some time, so I just kind of used the ones that I already had. And I like them better. So.
Oh yeah. Like we were talking before we went live about Alfred. Like that God knows how that thing. That original Alfred costs like a crap ton on like eBay and stuff.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it goes for $60-$70 some cases. Up to 100. It's unbelievable just for a figure by itself. It's a huge ripoff.
Because it's the only one that was ever released until 2017 with the Lego Batman movie.
Right.
Man, you were talking about you were talking about Keijin and Forrest and Blob Studios. Like, is Blob Studios still around? I think
I don't think so. I think he's kind of gone inactive. He is still alive. I got him to voice for Lego Justice League versus the Avengers a year ago. He played. Yeah, you were in that. He played Joker. I got him to play. Who was it? I'm drawing blanks here. I forget who he played. Some British character.
Since he released it.
Yeah, I'd have to go back. I think it was somebody on the Marvel side. I remember. It was Vision. He played Vision. That's
cool.
Yeah, it's a forgettable character. That's why I can't remember it.
Is he British or did he? I don't remember.
Well, he's Scottish.
Oh, okay.
So
I have a Scot voicing Alfred.
Yeah.
Now.
Really? Pretty cool.
Pointless Brick Film Productions. You guys should check him out. He is very underappreciated. Like, seriously, he deserves way more subscribers than he has right now. You guys should check him out. Kyle Bickley. He replaced Phil Rod Films, who voiced Alfred before.
Oh,
Well,
I've
yeah.
worked with
So
him.
oh yeah, he's a cool guy. He's actually who I voiced. He's actually, without him, I probably wouldn't be as popular in the community now, because I voiced Alfred. I voiced the Joker. He was the first person I voiced guest voiced the
Oh,
Joker for.
that's pretty cool.
And
Yeah, I've been
that
into
video is
some of his stuff.
yeah, that video is no longer up though, because he
Oh,
private
really?
listed his Nightmare in Gotham series, because I don't really know why, but
Oh, that
yeah.
happens. I've privatized a few of my videos.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, what was I gonna? I was gonna make a follow-up. Yeah, it's some of the people that inspire me, were the people that you mentioned, but also like Nathan Wells, who I think. Oh, Blob Studios. The last I saw, he did like a recreation of the Batman v Superman trailer, and that was in 2016.
Yeah, I think that was the last video he ever uploaded. I don't know what he's doing now. But...
Mm. Oh yeah, I remember. Like, are you familiar with oh God, what's his name?
hang on, give me a second. Somebody's calling me. Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hmm. Hello, guys. Oh, look at all the viewers. Da, da, da. That's a lot of people.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back. My sister was needing me.
Mind Game. Are you familiar with Mind Game Studios?
Mind Game Studios. Yeah, he's been in he was in Lego Batman New Villains.
Oh, dang! So have you been following brick films since before you started? Because you've only been brick filming for like 4 or 5 years, right?
I wouldn't know. I haven't really watched a ton of his stuff, but
I mean, haven't you only been?
Oh yeah, I've been a brick filmer for about to be 5 years here, which is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, he's like him. Like I got started in 2009, and I've been watching since like 2007 brick films. He's from he's from the old grade, I guess, and he still does it too, which is actually. Really? I tweeted to him a few weeks ago, and that was so cool. He responded to me, because that's like he's one of the people that like inspired me, like Nathan Wells, the 2-Bit Wise Guy, Common Bulldog, like Forrest, like everyone.
Yeah, it always is interesting and surreal talking to the people who have inspired you. You know, that's how it's been with me. Like, you know, talking to Keshin or getting Forrest to voice for me and stuff. It's so surreal. But yeah,
that's cool. Like, and people it must be interesting because people like fanboy over you as well. Like,
that's pretty weird as well.
But it's mostly just for me as the Joker, not actually my videos. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Right.
I'm known for an impression. Okay.
Well, you're really good at your impressions. So.
Yeah. It's must be good. Okay, let's go on to the second question. So why mostly Batman? You think? To be fair, I do Batman as well. So.
I don't know. It's just that like I've always liked Batman. I've always liked DC like characters, not really their films, but I like the characters that are in that universe. And I feel like if I obviously I was inspired by Forrest to do the Batman stuff, and it's just easy if you want to do like a comedy series because there are so many different characters you can parody. Whereas if you were to pick like a different superhero that's in that universe, there really aren't as many options. There's not a whole lot you can do. Whereas with Batman, you got him, you've got a sidekick, you've got his butler that you can all parody, and then you have all the villains as well because he's got like an entire list of villains that everyone knows.
He's got great villains.
Yeah.
That's why I play villains mostly. They're always villains are fun to play. But anyway, I keep bringing it up myself. But I do that a lot. I don't know why. But you do the thing about the Forrest thing you mentioned. Like that's you get accused of being considered like a Forrest ripoff, but I disagree. I've seen Forrest ripoffs. You're You're
Yeah,
not one of
I've
them. You
always
have
told people.
you take the tropes of like he did. By the way, Forrest Whaley did not invent a-hole Batman and flamboyant Robin.
Right.
That was a parody. That was an archetype for those characters long before Forrest
Yeah,
Whaley. People have
exactly.
been
It's
making
always been.
fun of Batman and Robin for decades. So
Yeah.
it's not he
He
didn't
didn't
invent
like.
it.
No, he didn't invent it for sure. A lot of people get the two things of like inspiration and copying. They get those confused. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to rip him off in any way, and it's pretty clear that he knows that if he's if he's in my videos at this
Mm-hmm.
point. But no, there are people on YouTube that completely rip him off, and you can definitely tell.
Oh yeah.
You know.
But the thing is like you expand on it. You managed to find like give it more depth and stuff. And like in the Christmas, which I found was interesting. I didn't expect this. In
Mhm.
the Christmas special you did recently, you actually had like some like well you completely like backtracked it on purpose in the end, but um you had some actual like kind of like drama in that episode and almost like character development, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
something that you don't
That's what
see in
me
a
and
lot
Alex
of
tried to
Batman
do.
parodies.
Yeah. We tried to expand on kind of the personality that Batman had, and we wanted to go in depth as to why he acts the way he does.
Yeah.
And we'd like to continue doing that going forward in the series.
But admittedly, you did just like completely reversed it though, and at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, well, because it's still comedy, you know. We can't like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, nothing can last. You know, it's got to be, it's got to change. You know, at the end, it's got to be some sort of twist.
The
Otherwise,
thing about DC characters, in my opinion, is at least with the bigger ones like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, you have to make them like you have to basically rewrite their character in order to make for them to suit like be suitable for comedy because
hmm
they unlike Marvel characters. I say this as a DC fan. It is I think it's much easier to make a like comedy with Marvel characters because they're more flawed, inherently flawed,
hmm
because that's the whole point of them. Is like DC characters are supposed to be like these like icons and role models, and it's hard to make that funny without turning them into like a totally kind of different character. Whereas
maybe.
with Marvel, like you got Iron Man, and he's like in the comics, he had like a history of alcoholism, so it's easy. You could just use that without going against his like how he is as a character already. But with Batman, like you got a total you. Okay, how do we make a guy who's just always serious all the time? Okay, let's make him like a violent psycho, or in your case, a drunk narcissist. So
Yeah.
so
I mean, I would say it's harder to parody things that are already funny. You know, that's why I've
yeah,
never done like. That's why I don't really do Marvel parodies. Is
yeah,
because it's kind of because Marvel movies are already comedic in a way. So when you
yeah,
take something that's already funny and try to make
because
it
their
funny,
characters,
it doesn't work.
yeah, yeah, because their characters
So
are more flawed and they have like they're more they make mistakes and conflict and flaws. So like that's where comedy comes from. Like
right,
so with DC, you got to work a little harder with it. I think. I think
yeah.
maybe that's not the best word. Maybe that's not the right words, but yeah.
Well, it's just different dynamics. You know, it's a different.
Mm,
It's like you have to parody each one in a different
agrees.
way. Huh?
Yeah, you don't have to like totally rewrite their characters as much. I think it's easy with
Yeah,
Marvel
yeah. With
than you do with
Marvel.
DC, which is
Mhm.
why in my videos, like I'm focusing mostly on like Dick, Jason, and Damien because they're younger, they're children, so it's easier to
Mhm.
make them like mess up without going
Right.
against their character.
Uh-huh.
Whereas Batman just shows up occasionally.
Yeah.
Which I'm saying that's another way to go about it. Like you either like it's hard. It's yeah, what was the point I was making? Is yeah, it's you do really well with Batman with your
Uh-huh.
with the comedic Batman's an a-hole, Robin's kind of like a sissy or whatever. Maybe that's not the
Mhm.
correct term to use nowadays, but
I think it would fit.
you expand on it and take it in your own direction. I think that's really
Thank
cool.
you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of videos where, oh, Batman's just hey, you don't want to be funny if Batman shoots people because Batman doesn't normally shoot people. So haha,
Yeah, if that's the only
Robin's
joke you
gay.
rely on.
Oh.
Yeah, there needs to be more to it than just that. You know, a character needs to have layers, and you can't just rely on him being like a jerk or on Robin being gay or whatever. Like that's not funny by itself. You have to add more to it. So
yeah, I think in Forest videos, Robin is straight up like in the later ones, he's just straight up gay. I think. Not, I'm just stating that, but in yours, like it's we don't really know.
right. It's
I think
simply implied.
Yeah. Like in the later videos, he just straight up says like I thought like I remember Forrest like they wanted up to like wait, we're not. I thought you were just playing hard to get. Like wow, he just went
Forrest is way more upfront with it for sure.
Yeah.
I try to do mine a bit more subtly.
Admittedly, he started when he was like 11, so subtlety isn't. And that was like 2000. By the way, I've seen some of his early videos. They're funny, but yeah, a lot of them they don't really fly well in 2018.
No, they don't. They didn't age very well.
Yeah, some of them didn't age very well. Yeah. God, I can't believe he's been at it for like 10 years. Crazy.
Yeah,
I gotta work on my tangents, honestly.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay, number 3. Did you collect/play with Legos before you started your YouTube channel?
Yeah, pretty much my whole life. That's kind of what drove me to do it.
So did I. Ooh, okay then. You have made a few political parody videos. What made you decide to cover a subject that is so rarely touched on in Lego stop motions?
Well, kind of just for that reason, you know, nobody really does Lego political videos, especially comedic ones, like, you know, debate parodies. That's not really a thing that we see very often. So I kind of wanted to, try that. Well, be one of the first ones to try that.
Yeah.
I've done 4 debates. One of them wasn't really a debate though. I did, the presidential one was Trump and Hillary, the Republican one, the Democrat one, and then the vice president one, but that one was like 10 seconds.
That was a funny one.
And so on top of that, it's also because I love politics and I love political satire, like things like SNL, The Daily Show. And so I love joking about current events, things that are concerning the news and stuff, the headlines now. And so it's like, okay, I could parody some of this.
You should see how the Brits approach this stuff. Like they get brutal with their political parodies. Like
I'm sure they do.
Like there is this like show called called The Spitting Image. It was like it was a puppet political satire show, and it was during the Margaret Thatcher era. And they turned her into like a psycho. They like just abuses her, like, and she like abuses like her husband and stuff. Like,
God.
Like
that'd be interesting. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, they went like wow.
Yeah.
Look that up, like spinning. I think it's called Spitting Image. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, my God.
Yeah.
You're talking about British satire. Like, that's interesting. Like, I think the reason people kind of avoid political satire typically in Lego is because, you know, Lego is watched by, you know, children typically. So, and they probably like, but you kind of turn it into like about the figures themselves more so than actual, like, you know, policies and stuff.
Yeah, I try to make fun of the person. I want to do it on
like, gonna get like a joke about, okay, so the healthcare, like, and all the economy, like a 14-year-old's not gonna. Well, what?
Yeah, I try to keep it as simple as I can.
Yeah.
Because I know people who aren't really involved in politics might stumble across it, and I want them to still enjoy it without having to know all this background knowledge of like how economics work and everything. And so I try to keep it pretty light for the most part. And I also, at the same time, I try to make fun of both sides equally.
Oh yeah.
As to not sound biased, you know, that's one thing you really got to be careful with.
Yeah, you and South Park, I think, are like the only two people I think of when I think of like political parodies. They're like actually evened out. Like they make fun of both. SNL we all know what side they're leaning on.
SNL's pretty left, yeah.
Well, it's NBC, so
right. It's to be expected.
Like I know Democrats that don't watch NBC News, so it's pretty good. Well, that's as far as we'll go as in the actual politics that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it.
He and I have actually argued about this in private. So.
Oh yeah, we've had some political discussions.
Oh yeah.
I think we're both pretty passionate.
We've said things to each other that we regret sometimes in discussion.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all just in the heat of discussion.
Being an adult, it's important to be aware of it,
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Number 5. Are there any videos you have made that you would go back and change?
Yeah, probably almost all of my videos. There's something I could probably change about them. None of them really turn out exactly the way I'd like them to be, which is why I never go back and watch my own stuff. I simply can't. But I guess if there were something specific I wanted to change, it would probably be, oh man, I don't know, like maybe the type of camera I used to use a long time ago used to be like a Logitech webcam or something, and I feel like that really made the videos look a lot worse because it didn't, that was right before I switched to my Canon Rebel, which I have now, and I've been using for a couple of years. So I don't know. I can't really think of something specific I'd go back and change, but there's probably quite a bit if I were to like, make a list or something.
Yeah, like I have it all the time. Like even on the video I'm working on right now, there's some stuff like I wish, oh man, I should have done that. Oh well.
Right. That always happens with anyone who creates videos or content. There's always something you can change or something you're not completely pleased with, but it's usually not that much of an issue because the people, for the most part, who watch it don't really see that mistake that you do. So,
they do see problems with lighting, though.
Yeah, well,
I still have that problem. I still haven't figured out lighting entirely. I need to do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Number 6. What is it like having major YouTubers involved with your videos, like in them at least, like Forrest Whaley and I hate everything. Like, what's that like having people like that?
Well, it's pretty surreal working with them and knowing them and getting them to appear in my stuff, just because like these are the people who have inspired me, and they're the people that I've always kind of watched, people that I enjoy, and those are the people that I like to put in my videos, the people that I watch. And so really it's just kind of surreal, and I think it's cool to establish some sort of relationship with them, just to kind of know them, not even if like we're friends or anything, because I wouldn't consider me and Forrest friends. Like we don't talk other than whenever I get him to voice. I don't know him that well, but it's still really cool to work with him, and just entirely surreal.
Yeah, that's cool. Forrest only makes Lego videos like every 2 years or something now, right?
Yeah, now he's kind of doing other projects, I think, and plus his animation style now is just so crazy good that it takes him that much longer to produce something. But whenever he does upload, it's fantastic. So
you had Brock, which is really interesting. As I was watching some of your early episodes of your Batman videos, you had Brock Baker do introductions. Like that's crazy because he's like in the big leagues now on YouTube.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good, I think. I used to have him do the announcer, but then I kind of went away from that because I thought it was too similar to Forrest, so now I just have Alex do it. But
I just thought that was interesting. But you I Hate Everything is obviously up there, but I
he's
just thought
very big.
Someone like Brock Baker, you had him on there before I think he got real big, and you had him in multiple episodes.
Yeah, I had him in.
That was insane.
I had him in a lot of, I guess, what would be called season 1 of the Lego Batman series, the really older ones. He used to do the announcer in almost every single episode. But
yeah, that guy is incredibly talented.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, even his Twitter is hilarious. Will. So you haven't really contacted him in a while?
No, I haven't talked to him probably in a couple of years. I'd say we kind of stopped. I think now you've got to pay him if you want him to appear in a video.
Oh yeah,
Not really
I
sure he
would
does.
imagine.
Yeah.
I think he does.
Yep.
I think he might be doing pro stuff.
Yeah, probably. I think he's doing pretty well
I
for himself
remember
from what I know. But
yeah, you'll get there, man. You're gonna get big. You'll get. I guarantee you'll get the verified check mark or whatever.
Yeah, I actually might apply for verification after I hit 100K, which I don't know when that's gonna be, but we'll see.
Yeah, you're gonna I hear you have to. I hear you'll have to request for one of those like the diamond plaque or whatever.
Oh, the silver play button. Yeah, you gotta. Well, they'll like send that out to your house once you hit 100K. But I know it takes a long time. Akash hit 100K a year ago, and he doesn't even have his yet.
Oh yeah.
As far as I know. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did in the wedding episode, did you just use stock of Akash in that, or did you actually? Because that was like a big like. That was a big joke at his expense there. Like,
yeah. I was actually originally I texted him and I was like, hey, I need you to do a line for my next video. He's like, okay, dude. And I'm like, okay, just say yup. That's it. Into the mic. You just need to say the word yup. That's it. And he's like,
give him context.
And so I did, but then it turns out that he didn't send the line after months and months and months. And I kept texting him. He's like, well, I'll send it today after school. You know, he never did. So eventually I was like, well, I have to, like, it got to the point where I had edited all of the video except for that one line, and he still wouldn't send it because he was just busy with whatever. So I was like, okay, I mean, I'll just kind of have to make do. And so I went back to his other audio file he sent me, the last video that he was in before that one, which he played Amanda Waller in Lego Batman Villains. And he turns out yup, the word yup was actually in one of his lines. So I just cut that out, isolated the word and stuck it in where I needed it to be. And, it just worked out. The rest is history. But
that episode was so funny with the brooms, with this broom and all.
Moppy. Yeah.
Alex is hilarious in that. Moppy.
Now Moppy is a recurring character.
I did not see that Akash joke. That was I've only seen like one of his videos. But,
really?
Yeah, one. I think it was the one I was in.
Oh yeah.
I only had like two lines in it. I was in that bloodbath one, Avengers versus Hulk.
I do remember.
It was Magneto.
Oh, that's cool.
I think I got killed by the Hulk.
I think I've been in some of his older stuff. I played Spider-Man. I don't know if I was in that one or not. I have to go back and check, but.
Oh yeah. You also played my son once. I remember in JT. Oh, yeah. I think JT Films. I can't remember. I'm sorry if I.
I don't know his name either.
I played Lex Luthor, and you played Lex Luthor Jr., who was basically that was interesting because I'd never seen you in a more serious. What was that like, being in a serious role like that?
It was interesting. I haven't really done a whole lot of serious roles, obviously. I mean, most Brooke films, I think it's safe to say, are comedic. Generally speaking. Most of the time, what I do is comedic in terms of voice acting for other people. But I have done a couple serious roles. Akash's videos are technically serious. They're not as serious as some of the ones you'll find, but
you're throwing a lot of shade.
I feel like I'm not good at it, man. No, he's not going to listen to it. Let's be completely fair. He doesn't even not trying to knock you or anything. I'm just saying, like, he's not going to like. He doesn't. He doesn't really
watch his videos. So.
I mean, he doesn't really care about the Lego community anymore, which I can understand. He's just he's doing his own thing. He's at university now. So good on him. Whatever he wants to do, fine.
Yeah,
but I don't think he watches my videos anymore either.
I talked to him on Twitter 2-3 years ago or whatever.
Oh, that's quite some time.
He didn't. Yeah, he doesn't really like to joke around as much. I would say. Nothing against him. I've only talked to. Like I said, it's been 3 years since I talked to the guy, so I don't really know him.
Yeah, but I texted him a couple months ago, because we hadn't through a couple months without just even talking at all, and that's just, I guess that's just on the account of us going off and doing our own things. Like I said, he's at film school right now and everything, and I'm still like a senior in high school, and it's
Yeah. Oh man, I did not think I'd actually like. I've been making Lego videos for like 8 years, but I didn't really get into the community until I was 21 years old. It's really it's weird.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think the Lego community started to really gain traction until just a couple of years ago. That's when a lot of smaller animators came into the mix, and the community just kind of grew exponentially, especially on Instagram. Back in like 2015, 2016, the brick film community on Instagram was pretty big.
It really
pretty
blew
sizable.
up it actually really blew up in like 2012 because that's when all the superhero sets came out, and that's when superheroes like exploded because of Avengers and all that.
Yeah, that's definitely, that was kind of a revolutionary time for brick filming, you know, because like you said, they had the superhero sets, and then we have a ton of people who started making superhero brick films, and then all of a sudden those were popular instead of Star Wars brick films. And now if you make a Star Wars brick film, it's more than likely not going to get a ton of views compared to superheroes. That's just because that's what kids like, I guess. That's the trend.
Unless you're someone like Fancy Pants or that guy that made that really brutal Darth Vader versus Rebels video. Have you seen that?
Maybe. I know who Fancy Pants is. I've worked with him before. He's a good guy.
That guy's the grandson Vader and grandson video, or what, I can't remember. That's so funny.
Yeah.
In the thumbnails, like I swear it's like a parody of like a father and son like Hallmark card or something.
Oh really? I'll have to go back and look at it.
Those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Speaking of other brick filmers, number 7, you write a lot of your videos now with Lone Clone Productions.
Yeah.
Alex. What is the process? What is that process like?
It can take a couple days sometimes. It's definitely a process, to say the least. We start off with an idea, and usually we'll be inspired by something somebody suggests to us, because we do take suggestions. If somebody leaves a comment with some idea for a video, I'll go with it. I might use it. Or we'll just think of something. We try to think of something that's never been done before, especially in a Lego Batman brick film, especially recently, in particular. And then so once we have an idea, then we'll go ahead and outline it, and we'll create a Google Doc, and we'll start to outline where we want to take the episode, what we want to happen. We'll try to lay out the events in chronological order and everything. Just kind of pretty simple stuff. Does not really have to go in depth. You don't have to. We never really write any dialogue in the outline, but then after we've got the outline finished, then we go ahead and make another doc, which is the actual script, and then we try to turn the outline into a much longer, 15-page script for a video. And that's the thing that can take quite some time. In fact, we just finished writing the next Lego Batman video, which is Lego Batman Robin's Origins. So we actually took that project was on the back burner for a couple months, as I was trying to finish the wedding episode and the Christmas episode. And so now I can focus.
Which Robin is your Robin? Because I think you call you called him Dick, but at some point he's also been called Tim. So I'm not sure which one.
We're not very clear on that, and we don't really feel a need to be clear on it, since it's comedy.
That is a Tim Drake figure, though.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of confusion, and I will say, I'm not going to say a lot because then that would spoil the next video, but I will say that the next episode about Robin's origins will explain that. So
a lot of people don't know that is the 2006 Lego Robin is actually a Tim Drake Robin.
Yeah.
But he's always used as Dick Grayson because in Batman animated series, they used one of Tim Drake's comic book designs for Dick Grayson. In fact, they've always done that with every Robin. They always reuse one of Tim Drake's many Robin costumes because, like Jason Todd when he wore the red one, that was like Tim Drake's Robin costume in like the mid 2000s.
Oh, I never even knew that.
They always do that because then they don't want to use the Speedo version.
That's true. Yeah, they used the Speedo version in the Lego Batman movie, I
Oh
believe.
yeah. Oh yeah. You're competing like you're competing with Lego and DC official. They're because they're making their own comedy Batman Lego officially now. So you got competition with the
Oh
real
yeah,
deal.
that's true.
Yeah.
I better watch out. But
Yeah. Well, Arnett's amazing. Like that
yeah,
movie was
he is.
beautiful. Like this I don't think you would call it production design because it's an animated film, but
Mhm.
it's
Well, the animation is beautiful. The fact
oh
that they're
yeah.
able to make CGI essentially look like stop motion, like
Mhm.
that's pretty remarkable. And all of the Lego movies, which there's
I
only been
haven't seen
three.
Ninjago.
I haven't seen Ninjago either. I've heard that one isn't as good as the other two, but I will say that the first Lego movie and Lego Batman movie are very good films, and it's kind of sad how they were both snubbed for the Oscars.
Oh
But
yeah. Nah,
whatever.
I don't
Instead,
care about the
the
Oscars.
Boss Baby was nominated, but
Oh,
you know.
you know, I would complain about that, but it's not the Emoji Movie, so
Right. That'd be bad.
yeah. No one liked that film. So
No, that was horrible. I actually took my girlfriend to go see that on our first
really,
date. Yeah,
why?
because I mean, I don't
It
know.
doesn't
It
look
was
like the good kind of bad. It just looks
I
bad.
well to me. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was going to be so bad that it was good. I was really hoping it would be, but walking out of the theater, I was so disheartened by what I saw because it was bad. It was bland. It was just a giant commercial.
Mhm.
Um, to
Yeah,
quote IH, but it was disappointing for sure.
yeah. I actually did a video. My problem was like all the freaking clickbait rants about it. You know what I mean? Like everybody did a rant video about the Emoji Movie.
Oh yeah.
And it just God, like oh my God, worst. It's the end of film. Really, really?
Yeah, yeah.
You kidding me?
That's a bit of
Like
a
the
reach.
'80s was full of now. Every cartoon in the '80s was based off of a product,
Hmm.
like Transformers, GI Joe.
Oh, pretty
Uh,
much.
God, all the every like the I think the Smurfs had toys. Like it's not like there was a cartoon about the Rubik's cube.
What's there? Huh.
Yeah,
That's
I haven't
insane.
seen it because it came out like a decade before I was born. But
Right.
um, it's like it was like my God, the most obnoxious thing to me about that movie, Emoji Movie, is what boggles my mind is T.J. Miller's the way he talked about it in
Hmm.
interviews.
Hmm.
Like
I mean,
like
TJ Miller in general.
I was confused. Like he was talking about interviews. He was bashing on like, oh yeah, like now we got like the fourth Spider-Man. We got like the sixth, like just sixth Batman movie, and but this movie's original. We don't get a lot of original films, and I think the Emoji Movie. Like I'm with IHE. Like, dude, you're a comedian. You think you'd be more self-aware? God,
Yeah, yeah, I know.
he's in a
It's
real
insane.
movie.
I know. I'm concerned for TJ Miller's mental state, honestly, seeing
Yeah,
some of the interviews he's done.
like he was
I
talking about the movie like it was an actual like real movie. Like like freak
yeah.
Patrick Stewart knew it was joke casting when he
Patrick
played
Stewart told me here he didn't care about that movie or his character at all, which I don't blame him. And he's much better than that. He didn't need to.
yeah,
He
that was the
didn't have to
joke.
subject himself to
Like
such trash.
he knew that he was cast in it as a joke. Like he even said so. Like
Yeah.
I was cast as a joke. But TJ Miller thinks he's like in the next Pixar film or something.
TJ
That
Miller's in a
was so
different
weird.
universe.
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
weird like on his trailers, man. They bashed that movie. We're like,
Oh.
Matt called Matt, played by humanity's own Matt, TJ Miller.
It's pretty accurate, actually.
He said he was the guy that wrote that. Like I saw on a Australia's commentary, he said he was a bit salty when he wrote the script for that episode for the Honest Trailers of the motion movie. So he kind of regretted
I
that
think that's
line.
fair.
Yeah.
That's a good
Oh
line.
yeah. Well, you know what just happened here? I was just complaining about clickbait rants about the Emoji Movie while also going off tangent ranting about the Emoji Movie. Like
I mean, it's just kind of an easy thing to hate. You know, it's really hard not to despise everything about it. So,
like the lesson in the movie, it's like really like awful, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Well, it's really cookie cutter and really bland. And, you know, we've seen it all. We've seen it so many times before. Super generic.
All right.
But
okay, let's go on to that. I think we should stop talking about the Emoji Movie. God, well, we've dated the hell out of this interview, I think.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I just said, hey, I could get away with that in PG. It's an H word there.
Yeah.
Hey, do you still buy sets and figures for fun, or is it all for videos now?
Do I buy minifigures for fun?
Or Legos in general? Do you Lego? Sorry,
not really. No, I don't really. Okay, actually, well, I'll take that. Even this was for a gift for Christmas. I did get the BB-8, like the buildable BB-8 set.
Oh, cool.
That I now have on my shelf. But other than that, no, I haven't really bought a set to just have since I was a kid. Probably, you know, everything I've bought has been for the purpose of a video or for some sort of scene or whatever it is I need it for. You know, it's got some sort of purpose.
Yeah, I still like I still occasionally I think like I had some but I forgot. I was
that's fine.
Okay. I forgot a follow up to the writing question. How did you and Alex meet exactly?
How did we meet?
Yeah.
Well, he was actually the one of the first people I met on YouTube once I started doing brick films. I don't know how exactly I found his videos or his channel, but I remember after stumbling upon one of his videos, I commented and was like, "Hey, can you do the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi in my next Star Wars video or something?" He's like, "Sure, man." And then so you can actually go. I forget what video it is now, but you can actually see the thread, which is our first conversation that's still on that video. And we posted it to Twitter a couple months ago, I think, because it's so interesting to me.
Oh yeah,
that was kind of the start of it all. He was the first voice actor I ever had.
Yeah, if you go to the comments section of A Few Good Films, like you can see, that's like where he cast me as a Magneto and then eventually the Joker, and I think that's a large percentage of like I mentioned, I told you earlier, I voiced the Joker for the first time as like a guest voice actor for Phil Ride, but I think a lot of that kicked off with A Few Good Films when I voiced for him as Magneto, because then that's where I got like a bunch of gigs as Magneto for everybody.
Yeah,
so that's a very significant. Okay, tangents again. So that's a very historical comment thread for you there. So
it is, yeah. I wish I could go find it. I'm sure it's somewhere on Twitter or it's one of his older videos. I might post it after this interview. We'll see. But awesome. No, it is really interesting. That's where we met, and then from that we started talking on Google Hangouts years ago, back in 2013, I think. And then we took it to Skype, and then we just became closer and closer ever since. And now we just do most of what I put on my channel together is what we've written, you know, and we talk on the regular. So he's one of my closest friends.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, man. It's cool that you write the episodes together. I think that when you I think that really gives it a lot of like, you can tell that there's more than one guy working on it. I think that's really it really shows, I think.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that comes across. Thank you. But yeah, I think it's just because we've got similar tastes in comedy. We have similar writing styles where we can easily bounce ideas off of each other whenever we're getting started on a script. And I've actually considered recording the script writing process or just the the production process in general on a video to upload to my second channel to see kind of like
Oh,
the
that.
behind the scenes of how a Batman video is made.
Oh,
But
you should do that. I think you'd get plenty of views there.
yeah, we'll see. I'll think about it.
Yeah, I think people would like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd watch it. So that's cool.
Mhm.
Funny story about me, like Lone Clone. Like I voiced the Joker for him in that Suicide Squad video, and this is a credit to him. I think many people would say that that is superior to the actual film.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, Margot Robbie was pretty good though. Anyway, anyway, yeah. Okay. He voiced Red Hood for me originally.
Oh, really?
And and then I asked him to voice him again, and yeah.
Yeah, and then it just kind of escalated from there.
Yeah, but that no, I mean, I know he's a good friend of yours, and he's a good guy. I know that, but good guy. Like I'll get it to you soon, man. But
he can take he can take a long time to lines. What you're saying?
Oh yeah, but that's just a funny story. It's like he's still cool about it. I had to recast him, but he took it fine. He still featured. He's still like in the recent a spectacular. Like I had a Red Hood video Christmas special again with Mad Pat this time, and he still featured it in the spectacular. So that's really cool. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, Alex is a cool guy, and it's great that you guys working together and all that. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really fun.
Yeah,
it's worked out pretty well over the years.
All right, now on to question 9. Who are your biggest? I think we already went over this, but who are your biggest inspirations, like YouTube or movie and TV wise? If you can include that.
Let's see. I don't know. Okay, well, I guess we'll start with YouTube. Some of my big inspirations starting off were definitely, like I said earlier, Forrest, Kesh, and Blob Studios. Mainly, those were the big 3. And then as I started to keep creating videos, I guess some of my inspirations now would have to be like a.k.a. Chris Ray Gun, Ralph the Movie Maker, people like that, have definitely encouraged me to keep doing what it is that I do. And
Chris Ray Gun's a political guy, right?
He is, yeah. But I'm apart from the political stuff he does, I really like his editing style. So if you watch the 2 live action videos I have on my channel, the editing is very quick cut, very fast paced.
They're like kind of Edgar Wright-esque.
Yeah, and so I kind of took that from Chris Reagan specifically, but as for movies and TV, I don't really know. I don't really know if anything from those mediums have inspired me.
I would say for the political, I would think SNL. Like
yeah, for sure. I didn't think about that. Yeah, SNL has definitely inspired me. Like I said, The Daily Show. Back when it was around, the Colbert Report was great. But he's not on there anymore. It's not a show.
Oh yeah, the thing that the guy that replaced him, I like him. I disagree with some of his like.
Are you talking about The Daily Show?
Larry Wilmore film.
Oh, Larry Wilmore. Yeah,
his show was meant to replace the Colbert Report.
Okay, yeah, I never really watched him.
I liked him. I disagree with some of the things his opinions, obviously.
Yeah.
And some of his approaches, but I thought he was a really funny guy.
Yeah, he was funny. I just didn't like his approach to it. Obviously, those types of shows are gonna have their own agenda and their own leanings, and that's fine. I'm fine with that as long as they're not like completely bashing the other side and like making them look like
funny
bad guys. But I didn't like his approach. He definitely demonized the other side quite a bit, and I didn't like that. So.
I liked the thing about Trevor Noah, he's hit or miss. I'm not going to get too into it with him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Trevor Noah.
I think he seems like a good guy, but I don't know if he's not as funny as Stewart
Jon
was.
Stewart.
I think.
Stewart was
Yeah, Jon
amazing.
Stewart.
Yeah, I really miss Jon Stewart. Trevor Noah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it either, but like I've seen a little bit of his stand up outside of the Daily Show, and it actually is really good. I think he's a funny guy. I feel like when he's doing the Daily Show, he's probably got the studio and the network kind of breathing down his shoulder as to what he puts in his show and the way he executes what it is that he's saying. And I think,
like I said though, like say what you want about the comedy, but he seems like a good guy, a likable guy though. He's very charismatic, I think. But I don't. But yeah, I just I don't know. I just didn't think he's as funny.
Yeah. Wait, who are you talking about?
Trevor Noah, I mean.
Oh, Trevor Noah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not very funny.
You know, I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long Claw, man. I don't know, man.
There we go.
That Josh from A Few Good Films, you know. So he thinks he's so funny, huh?
Oh no.
I'm on to you, man. You that. I know you got an agenda.
Yeah, A Few Good Films has a political agenda.
Yeah. I've actually gotten like an arguments about how with him kind of arguments. I wouldn't call. I actually should say, and I use that in quotes. Right, it's about how non-political and like not in his videos. I mean, like in real life, like
really.
Yeah. Okay. About how not for his, he doesn't have any political views as far as I know. Okay. I'm like, dude,
he's very apolitical.
But the thing is, he's the same age as me, so you should be kind of involved.
Yeah.
But I don't want to bash on Josh here. He might actually watch this video.
Yeah, he might be watching now. Who knows?
He's a good friend of mine.
Josh is great. He's done Superman for me.
Oh yeah, he still does Superman for. That's interesting because he's been talking to me about how he doesn't really do voice acting for people anymore. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I haven't had him in a couple months. I haven't put Superman in the video in a while. So to be fair, I haven't really needed him.
By the way, Josh and I are friends. People, I was just making a little joke about him. I've joked about this with him about how apolitical he is in real life.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. So don't get this idea that I have it. There's no feud.
It's no bad blood.
It has nothing to do with his actual videos. But anyway, okay. I'm making it weirder. Okay.
No.
So yeah, okay, now question number 10. Did you ever get any flack or anything for not actually reading many comics despite making a lot of comic book videos?
Well, I mean,
you didn't.
I've gotten a lot of flack before in general, for different things about my videos, but not really for not reading comic books. Most people don't know that I don't read comic books. So nobody really criticizes me for it, but no, I haven't really experienced anything like that. I don't think. But for people who don't know, yeah, I've never picked up a comic book in my life. I really don't care what goes on in the comics. I just like parodying the characters. So I watched the movies.
I only figured that was the case because of you had when you introduced Batgirl, she was Alfred's niece, like in the movie Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's just all I had to go off of. I didn't learn that she was actually Commissioner Gordon's daughter until later on, which is kind of weird because later the Christmas special from 2016.
She's still Alfred's niece.
No, I changed that in 2016 in the Christmas special. They mentioned how she's Commissioner Gordon's daughter, so I completely changed that. And
retcon. That's
nobody really noticed, so it's fine.
That's what we would call a retcon.
Yeah.
In the comic book. Yeah. Alrighty. So okay, what was your initial reaction when one of your videos reached 1 million views?
Well, I was pretty ecstatic. I was surprised for sure, because I didn't expect any of my videos to get that popular. Let me see. I remember at the time I had like two or three videos hit 1 million like at the same time, and I can't remember which one it was. I know it was like it was a toss up between the second Lego Batman Christmas and Lego Batman Arkham Asylum Breakout 2, which is a really long name, but those were the two that hit 1 million pretty soon after each other, and I don't know which one came first. I'd have to go back and check. But, you know, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I haven't had any videos with 1 million yet, but when one of them reached 100,000, that for me that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I remember feeling amazed about that too. I was really surprised. I think the first video of mine that hit 100K was probably one of my really older ones. Lego Star Wars, actually, General Grievous versus Agent Kolar or whatever. For whatever reason, as bad as that video is, it was my first thing to actually kind of take off, and it really helped me strive to continue making more videos. It definitely helped. It helped me continue my channel, I guess, was that video blowing up. And I think that was the first thing that hit 100K.
So the first video that hit 1 million for you, was it a video that you actually that you made?
At the time I liked it. Yeah. Now a couple of years down the road, and I've kind of changed what I do a little bit. And looking back at those two videos, there was a lot I could change, and so now I'm not really as proud of them. But
well, I only ask that because up until like 2015 with Damien's Babysitter, the most viewed video of mine was my first video that I made in 2009. It was Darth Vader versus Darth Maul, and it is Darth Maul 2, Darth Vader versus Darth Maul 2. That was my most viewed until 2015, and it annoyed me because that video was awful.
I'm proud of it. Yeah.
So you had the luxury of actually like the first one to hit 1 million being a video that you actually enjoy. But now my most viewed video is a video that I am quite proud of.
So that's good.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago when those hit that many views, but and now also I just remembered a minute ago I said it was the second Christmas special that hit 1 million views. That's not it. I was wrong. It was actually the first Christmas special. Just for anyone if anyone went back to look and they saw that I was wrong, because I feel like that would have happened. Just want to correct that. But yeah, no, it was the first Christmas video that I had that hit 1 million. So
yeah,
second one isn't there. But
yeah, the new. I like that you have an original character now. The rabbi.
Yes, yeah, Hanukkah Harry, which actually started off on Alex's channel, believe it or not. And Alex ripped it from SNL. That's a character from SNL that he put. Yeah, Hanukkah Harry that he put in his. He put in his Christmas special from 2015, 2016, I think. And then we just carried him over into Lego Justice League versus the Avengers, because if we were going to have Santa there, we wanted Santa to have some sort of enemy. So his enemy would be Hanukkah Harry, and now he's kind of a recurring character. And,
reminds me of the Hanukkah zombie from Futurama.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of Futurama, but yeah, it's probably pretty similar.
Yeah. And then there was like an evil robot Santa on that one. That show.
Really?
Yeah. The Forest plays Santa. That's pretty cool. He's consistently. He's like a Vietnam vet or something.
Yeah, there was one where they went to Vietnam and he did a great job as Santa, of course. But and of course we took inspiration from Forrest's Christmas special, where they just kind of mentioned in passing that, Batman and Santa fought in Vietnam together, and Alex and I were like, oh, well, we could expand on this in a full episode. And so that's what we did. And Forrest liked that idea, and he was completely fine with voicing Santa in it. So that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. You gave him, he has like tattoos. He used like the body of El Diablo from Suicide Squad.
Exactly, yeah. Thought it made him look
that was pretty cool. Yeah, I love that. Oh
Glad
yeah.
you enjoyed it.
All right. Now I think this is my last question, and then maybe we'll take some questions from the chat.
Okay,
Maybe.
sounds good.
Okay. So, any plans to go professional? I think you mentioned earlier that there was.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so I'm gonna keep doing animations throughout this year,
Mhm.
obviously, but at the same time, I'm going to university in August. You know, I'm going to college as my last year in high school and
You hang out
everything,
with
and
a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
go.
Brits, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you keep saying, "I'm going off to university," because that's how
Yeah,
the Brits say it.
I mean, well, I listen to a lot of British people talk, and
Yeah.
I'm used
It's
to the
weird
word
because you're from
university.
Texas, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
Most
going
people
off to.
don't know that I'm from Texas unless I tell them, which I'm so
I'm.
glad because I would hate to have a country accent, and I'm really really happy that that doesn't translate over
I
very
used to. I
clearly.
lived.
But
I lived in
yeah,
Texas. That was. It's actually they got real meat down there. Mm.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
Again, their
So yeah,
Taco Bell tastes better there because they use it like with like regional meat there. So,
yeah, yeah. So there you go.
oh
Everything's
man,
bigger in Texas.
I was
I'm
just
saying.
you've been you. I just I'm only teasing you there because you said you've been called. You said that earlier, like someone's like he's at university right now, and
Yeah, no, I
and
got you.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
no, I just say that because I've heard other British
I'm
people
not.
say it, and I like saying that more than I'm going to college, you know. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going off to college, university this August, and I've come to the cruel realization that I'm not going to be able to produce animations near as consistently as I do now. And if I barely have time to animate right now as it is with homework, because I'm trying to juggle homework, schoolwork, a girlfriend, and a channel kind of all at the same time. You know, and it can get kind of difficult. Most of the time I'll put the channel kind of on the back burner. That's why I didn't post at all over the course of January. You know, haven't really uploaded, and I not that's not to say I'm not working on stuff, but it's just that I don't have as much time as I did like this time a year ago or this time 2 years ago. You know, I'm getting busier, and it's only going to be kicked into high gear whenever I go to college. And so I've kind of realized and I've always known that like by that point I probably won't be able to keep making videos, at least that are Lego oriented. And so that's why I have decided that I'm gonna try doing more video essay slash commentary type stuff on my channel. I'm gonna start kind of shifting my content very slowly, very gradually over the course of this next year. I'm gonna get kind of out of the Lego stuff and get over to a completely different type of content, and that's kind of I haven't really announced it yet. I kind of hinted at that on Instagram and Twitter yesterday.
Mhm.
You know, only the people really close to me know that like, oh, I'm gonna stop animating at some point. You know, my girlfriend, I've told her about it. I've told Alex at this point, and so because I love making content, right? But I just
Mhm.
don't think I can keep making animations at some point. That's not to say that I'm like quitting now or anything. I'm not like quitting animations. I'm definitely going to keep posting the Lego Batman stuff and different parodies or recreations even between now and the end of summer this year. It's not actually going to shift fully into video essays until the end of this year and into next year and beyond, who knows. But I'm actually releasing my first video essay next week, right before Brick Film Day, which I have another Brick film coming out on that day. Stay tuned. But I'm going to slowly start putting out video essays to kind of gradually move into that sort of field, if you know what I mean.
That is
So
very
that's what I've got
yeah.
planned. It's pretty big. It's a big jump, big shift in content. But I'm confident. I think I can handle it. Maybe. So I made a test video that I sent to a couple different people, and the response on that was really good. That's the one that I'm going to be uploading in a couple days. So stay tuned, and we'll just see where it goes from there. But yeah.
Yeah, that's I think you. I'm impressed. You seem to be you're really thinking this through. I think that's really smart of you, man. Really, really professional as because
Thank you. Yeah, it's a pretty big. It's a pretty big shift. So I'm trying to give it a lot of consideration. I've been thinking about this for months. Like it's something that I've always wanted to do. Right, is to kind of make video essays, commentary videos. But I've never really had the opportunity to switch because at the same time I also like animating. But at this point, it's like I don't really have I won't have the ability to animate in a couple months, and so I'm gonna slowly start shifting it. That's basically all it is. And of course, I expect a lot of people to unsubscribe. That's a given, because like a lot of people subscribe for the animations. I don't expect them to stay around if I start making things that they didn't come for. But it's better than having to to stop animating entirely to pull in Akash basically because Akash really doesn't upload. I can say this because I'm friends with him. It's fine. Akash has pretty much his channel is pretty dead. Let's be completely fair. It's and I don't want to become that. I want to still keep uploading, even if it's not animations. I want to keep doing things on my channel because I like making things that people watch. And if people are watching it, then I'll just continue it. So we'll see. But I'm kind of testing the waters right now. It's very early in the change, but yeah.
Like this, like always make, if you don't like it, then you like don't just make it because you think other people want you to. You should if only make art if you like making the art.
Exactly. And if your heart's not completely in it, then there's really no point in doing it. It all comes down to what you enjoy doing. So if people don't really like it, then that's fine because I'll just build up another audience from the people who leave. So it's not really a big deal. But so we'll just have to see. Cool. Again, this is months down the road. I'm still doing animations. I'm actually going to start animating my next Lego Batman episode tomorrow. That one's 15 pages, like I said, Robin's Origins, which I'm really excited for that one. I think it'll be really good. And then of course I'm gonna do another Batman episode after that. It's gonna have Ra's al Ghul in it and everything. So yeah, there's definitely more Lego animations. I don't say all this to be like, oh, I'm quitting brick filming or anything. Like I don't want it to seem that way. I'm still uploading for quite some time animations. It's just later on down the road I might shift it. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Maybe you should do like one of those like really dramatic videos, like when people decide to quit.
Yeah, like what Anthony did when he left Smosh or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Although, he did do it for like over a decade, so I don't know.
Right. That is true. I mean, he kind of needed to move on. I bet Ian will probably move on at some point. I don't watch Smosh, but I used to.
Yeah.
So
I'm not 11 years old anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh man. Pretty much. I'm throwing shade at a company. Oh, how mean.
Yeah.
It's an IP, people.
Yeah.
Smosh is an IP.
Yeah.
They don't even write their own stuff anymore. It's not that that's the problem.
No,
that's wrong. Not but yeah. Ralph, the movie maker, mentioned that. Yeah. Anyway, I think you're handling this very maturely and professionally. You're professionally and handling it. So best of luck to that.
Thank you.
So you transition there.
It'll probably be difficult at first, but I'm
You'll get through it, man. You'll get through it.
Maybe. We'll
okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So this is usually where I ask, like, do you have what are your upcoming projects you'd like to announce? But you basically stated them, right? So
well, yeah, I mean, I can go through a couple that I'd like to work on. I'm doing Lego Batman Robin's Origins. Doing the video essay. I'll do something for Brick Film Day. I'm not going to reveal what it is yet because it's a secret. And then I'll do the Ra's al Ghul episode in a couple months. And there's just been this one project that's kind of been in the back of my mind. I've kind of talked about with Alex. Somebody suggested it a long time ago, and I think it's a really good idea. And I can't talk. I'll probably go along with it at some point. It's going to be a Aquaman and Hawkeye like buddy cop video where it's like they're teaming up to fight crime. Yeah. So I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So whenever I find the time, I'm sure I'll
That's an interesting
get that out of the way.
duo.
Yeah.
Like, is it going to be just yellow hair Aquaman,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
Rockstar Momoa?
No,
The
it's
one
gonna
that
be the
looks like Rob
classic
Zombie.
Aquaman. No,
All
I'll
right,
get
cool.
fancy pants to do him, and I'll probably
Nice.
get ironic chair to voice Hawkeye. Has been great. I've had him in a couple videos. He's a friend of mine.
Cool. Ironic
But yeah.
chair.
Yeah, he doesn't really post on his YouTube channel. I know he's got a series.
I just misheard you. That's what he's actually called. Oh,
Yeah, that's his username. Ironic chair.
I was joking. I thought I was joking when I said, but you actually didn't say that.
No, that's his actual name. Yeah, so he's a cool
cool.
guy.
That's awesome. I should check him out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
He doesn't really have he doesn't have a ton of content right now, if any. But I know he is working on a series right now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it is, right here. But yeah, he's going to be posting stuff later on this year, I think. So
all right,
I don't know.
cool.
He'll probably change his name by then. Who knows? But
all right. Okay, so I think maybe we'll take like maybe 5 minutes to take some questions from the chat.
Yeah, sure.
And then I think we'll call it a night. You're for that? Okay. All right, so let's see. Johnson, Diego from Decap Lego Films asks, Jonathan, do you plan on having... Okay, never mind. I didn't read the whole thing.
Wait, what did they say?
Do you plan to have Robin being on his period? What?
Oh, yeah, he always is.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. That's a joke from Forrest's video, I think. But yeah.
Oh. Well, okay. Cautious channel when he uploads only speak of only. Oh. Cautious channel when he uploads, you speak only of a myth. Okay.
Here, I think a question.
What'd you find?
Ty Fly listed a question, I think.
All right, let's see. All right, Ty Fly. What are your thoughts on FISA memo? Is that what is?
Oh wow, that's a bit of a heavy question. I
don't.
Okay.
Is that political?
I don't know. That is political, yeah.
Okay, never mind. No,
I'm not gonna get into it. I'd rather not get into it here. Maybe on Twitter, but
yeah. Okay. What's Brick Film Day? Interesting.
What's Brick Film Day?
Yeah, this guy just does.
Oh.
Wait,
that's a question. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. Okay, so basically, it's organized by a guy named PJ Lego Motion Lego Picture. Oh God, I screwed up his name. Whatever. Anyway, PJ is his name, and he's. What his plan is, you can go look at their Instagram, their Twitter to get a lot of information. I'm going to butcher a lot of this by explaining it, but essentially it's like this, it's this event where he's getting as many brick filmers as he can, to book different spots on February 10th. And that day, every brick filmer, or not every brick filmer, but a lot of brick filmers are going to, upload a video at a different time, like a different brick film that has to do with Brick Film Day. I think we've got to include like the logo or something in the video. And so the idea is to like spam everybody's inbox, their sub boxes, with just a ton of brick films for February 10th. And I'm doing it. Alex is doing it. Hux is a part of it. Chris, Seb, I think, is doing it. So a ton of different brick filmers, ton of different people are going to be a part of this. And you can go look at their Twitter and Instagram, like I said, to get some more details on it. But that'll be on February 10th. So
awesome.
A week.
I had just actually heard of it myself. I wasn't sure if that's been a thing for a while or not.
Yeah, I think he's been planning it for like a couple months. I think maybe not that long.
But I wasn't like.
They asked me to be a part of it, and I figured, yeah, why not? So
that was Dalek Bricks that asked that question, by the way.
All right.
Oh. Okay, let's see. A lot of them are asking questions that are political because they heard me. They're doing that because they heard me say, "Okay, let's not get political," and I think they're just trying to troll me here. Like
maybe. Yeah, you might want to scroll. There's a lot of questions actually. I didn't expect that. If you go up and start at Coffee Cheese's question and just go down there, quite a few.
Oh, there's my coffee, Joe. Oh, that's one of Team Skinny Zach, by the way. He's one of my IRL friends.
Yeah.
As I call them, He actually has, do you still, he's asking me, because we've actually talked about this, like, do you still want your Batman to fight Aubrey Studios Batman, Zach? You and I actually talked about that.
Yeah, you mentioned
We
that.
don't
That'd be interesting.
We made
Maybe
a
at some
joke
point.
about that. Yeah, because
We'll just
my
have to see.
Batman's more straightforward, kind of just like a regular Batman. So he'd
Yeah.
probably be try to put your Batman in like Arkham or something.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah, definitely two different characters. But
yeah.
yeah.
That would be funny. Has Jonathan ever, okay, in Infinite Films, has Jonathan ever done a collaboration with Lincoln Pop 13 apart from that one time in Joker and Riddler team up?
Nope. I've never. I don't think I've ever been in any Linkin Pop stuff. He's never been in my stuff besides that one video. We're kind of doing our own things. I don't talk to him a whole lot, like at all. I barely know the guy. I'm not a huge fan of his content, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't. I usually don't get him for stuff. But I'm sure he's a nice guy. But
I played Magneto for him once, I think.
that's cool.
I think I did. I'm not entirely sure. It's been like 3 years.
Yeah, you voice for enough people, and you just kind of forget whose stuff you've appeared in. But that's fine.
Magneto.
Right.
That's John. Okay.
Any reason why you're an atheist? God.
Okay. Really? No. Okay. That's just okay. What?
some of these are a bit out there, but.
How did Jonathan meet Forest Fire? I think you emailed him. Oh, by the way, that was
emailed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never know exactly.
Do I drink spring water? Ask C&R I do not. I mean, I drink tea a lot, but I'm actually drinking tea right now. But no, I can't say I drink a whole lot of spring water, TBH.
John No Thought. Oh, I think that's what. Ooh.
That was my old name on Twitter. People still call me it. It's great.
Yeah. Aubrey is my religion, says Dalek Bricks.
Same.
Aubrey is my senpai. Oh, by Austin Animations, I believe. a lot of. This is why I don't usually take questions from the chat because this is.
Yeah.
You guys.
Oh, JSA is asking: is John the type of guy to stay up at 3 a.m. talking to his girlfriend? That's actually really relatable. That's what I do almost every single night. So yeah, just have to answer that one. But,
is Zach political? Well, I can be, not in videos. I've actually mentioned before that me and Jonathan have actually had some political discussions. Some of them, admittedly, they've gotten pretty heated.
Yeah, it happens.
But not in videos. No, I will probably never do that.
Tie Fly is asking, what are some challenges that I face as a senior in high school? I don't know. I mean, there's definitely some burdens. Senior year is different and a lot weirder than the other years of high school, I would say. Mainly because it's your last year in high school and you're going to college pretty soon. And so I think that's probably the biggest burden, is knowing that you've got to know what you're doing after you're graduating. You've got to make sure that you graduate. That's the year you've got to kind of sober up and realize that your grades really do matter in terms of graduating and also picking, getting into the right college that you want to. And so you got to apply to the right places, and you got to do that pretty early. And but on the other hand, there are some luxuries as well, because this year I've got early release. I get out at 1:13 every other day, so that's definitely been nice. It's relaxed in some aspects, but it's definitely like amped up in some aspects, if you know what I mean. So
yeah. Okay. Lincoln. Oh, okay. That wasn't the question. Now everybody's throwing shade on Lincoln Pop. Okay.
That's funny.
Okay.
Let's see.
Maybe we'll do one more question. Stop, drop, or ETR Films asks, stop, drop, or roll.
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I would say all of the above.
I think one of them just called me old. Hey, see you at our studios. Will just not be like Skinny Zach at Zach's age? Is that what are you implying? Huh?
I don't know what that's implying. Yeah,
what are you implying?
Not sure what he's insinuating.
Plus, that makes me sound old. Thank you for that. Thanks.
Yeah. Dalek bricks. Dalek. I don't
like
know.
all Dalek bricks. Like I'm familiar with him. He has like a talk show where he interviews brick filmers. Like there's an episode he interviews. What?
Mm-hmm. I was just saying that he's asking if he can audition for one of my animations. Yeah, sure. If anyone wants to audition for anything, you just email me.
Yeah, okay.
I'm fine with that. I'll reply to you. So.
Okay, I think we're gonna call it a night now.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you for being on, Jonathan.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, it was cool. Good night, everybody.
All right.